Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Southern Charm. Kathryn Dennis looks back on show regrets. Former Southern Charm star, Kathryn Dennis is looking back on her regrets from her time on the show. She was a cast member until the end of season 8 and was embroiled in a lot of drama. Now, she is taking the time to reflect upon her time, and it was not all rainbows and butterflies. Keep reading to see what she would have changed. Kathryn Dennis looks back on show regrets. It was a rough go for Kathryn Dennis during her 8 seasons on Southern Charm. She got involved with Thomas Ravenel, who was 30 years her senior. Before she knew it, the two were expecting their first child, but Kathryn was just 21 when the two started gallivanting around. They had a very turbulent romance, but ended up having a second child. Unfortunately, Kathryn had some personal battles that were discussed on the show, and she ended up having to give up custody to Thomas. He was far from perfect, a fact fans are keenly aware of. Thomas has had his own scandals, but he has been fixated on Kathryn's imperfections. She found love once again with Ravenel, who was seen on Southern Charm. Things did end between the two, and she has continued to be in limbo in her life. There have been car wrecks, and Thomas Ravenel has repeatedly lashed out at his ex over her parenting. Now she has joined show alum Olivia Flowers on her new podcast Off a Season. According to Reality Blurb, Kathryn held nothing back while speaking with her buddy. During the November 21st episode, Kathryn Dennis addressed her life in Season 1 more so. She talked about some of her regrets and what she would have done differently. "I would go back to Season 1 and tell that girl to not move to the Hamptons with that older man and just stay where she was, figure out what she loves, what she wants, and not take on what seems stable in someone else as my own sense of security. I think that's what I did with him. I was this little country girl from Monk's Corner, so I was around all these Charleston people and they always seemed like uppity to me, so to be accepted somewhat in that moment I felt like, wow, I can't believe he likes me, who am I? And I just kinda had blinders on." She also noted that she felt she was forced to play a role, and no matter how much Kathryn changed, she was seen one way. Kathryn added that is how people have come to expect her to be, even on social media, and it has been hard to break free. Fans react to Kathryn's honesty. After this episode dropped, fans reacted to Kathryn Dennis' honesty. So, what were their thoughts and how did they receive this podcast? Now this is interesting. "Yes, girls, spill the beans. This is the content I live for." Others wanted Olivia Flowers and Kathryn back on Southern Charm, as they did not think the cast had enough spice. Ultimately, the conversation was fully appreciated, and hopefully it will make a difference in the way Kathryn is perceived. Or it will prevent another young girl from making the same mistakes as she did. Have you listened to the podcast yet? Furthermore, do you appreciate Kathryn's honesty, and do you think she is moving forward in a positive way? Let us know and watch Southern Charm Thursdays on Bravo. Southern Charm. Kathryn Dennis reflects on show regrets. Kathryn Dennis, one of the most polarizing and talked about stars of Southern Charm, has spent nearly a decade in the public eye. From her fiery debut as a young, ambitious Charleston socialite to her tumultuous relationships and personal struggles, Kathryn's journey has been anything but smooth. Now, as the show continues to evolve, Kathryn has taken a moment to reflect on her time on Southern Charm, sharing insights about her regrets and the lessons she's learned. Her candid reflections have sparked conversations among fans and critics alike, as they reconsider the highs and lows of her reality TV career. What does Kathryn regret most about her time on Southern Charm? And how has the experience shaped her personal growth? Let's dive into her journey and unpack the moments she wishes she could redo. The rise of Kathryn Dennis, a star is born. Kathryn burst onto the scene in Southern Charm's debut season as a fresh-faced 21-year-old with ties to Charleston's elite. A descendant of John C. Calhoun, the 19th-century U.S. vice president, Kathryn was poised to be a standout personality on the show. Her fiery red hair and vibrant personality made her impossible to ignore, but it was her romance with Thomas Ravenel, a man nearly 30 years her senior, that truly catapulted her into the spotlight. From the beginning, Kathryn's presence brought drama to the series. Her relationships, particularly with Thomas, were fraught with emotional ups and downs, giving fans plenty to talk about. But along with the fame came intense scrutiny, and Kathryn quickly became one of the most controversial figures on the show. Kathryn's biggest regrets on Southern Charm. In interviews and reflective social media posts, Kathryn has opened up about the regrets she carries from her time on Southern Charm. Here are some of the most significant moments she's looked back on with a mix of remorse and growth. 1. Letting relationships define her narrative. Kathryn's relationship with Thomas Ravenel was a central storyline for multiple seasons. Their on-again, off-again romance was marked by passion, conflict, and eventual heartbreak. Kathryn has expressed regret over allowing this relationship to dominate her narrative on the show. "I wish I had focused more on my own identity rather than being seen as someone's girlfriend or co-parent," she admitted in a recent interview. While the relationship brought her 2 children, Kensington and Saint, it also brought public drama, legal battles, and personal strife. Looking back, Kathryn acknowledges that she sometimes prioritized the relationship over her own well-being and independence. 2. Losing control of her image. As Kathryn's personal life became public fodder, she struggled to maintain control of her image. From being labeled a party girl to facing allegations of drug use and irresponsible parenting, she often felt at the mercy of the show's editing and the court of public opinion. "I let the noise get to me," she shared. "I should have stood up for myself more instead of letting others define who I was." Kathryn regrets not taking a firmer stand against the narratives pushed by both her co-stars and the show's production. Over time, she learned to advocate for herself, but it came after years of feeling misunderstood. 3. Public fallout with castmates. Kathryn's relationships with her castmates have been tumultuous, to say the least. She has clashed with nearly every major figure on the show, from Cameron Eubanks to Craig Conover. One of her most publicized feuds was with Leva Bonaparte and Vanita Aspen during the later seasons, which delved into discussions about race, privilege, and personal accountability. Reflecting on these conflicts, Kathryn has admitted that her reactions weren't always ideal. "I let my emotions get the best of me too many times," she said. "I wish I had handled certain situations with more grace and thoughtfulness." 4. Underestimating the impact on her children. Kathryn has often spoken about the challenges of being a parent in the public eye. Her custody battles with Thomas were highly publicized, and the show often highlighted the tension between the two. Looking back, Kathryn regrets how her role on Southern Charm may have impacted her children. "There are moments I wish my kids didn't have to see when they're older," she said. "I've learned a lot about the importance of setting a better example for them." Lessons learned: Kathryn's path to growth. While Kathryn carries regrets from her time on Southern Charm, she also recognizes the lessons she's gained along the way. Her journey has been one of self-discovery, resilience, and personal growth. 1. Owning her mistakes. One of the most significant ways Kathryn has grown is by taking accountability for her actions. While she initially struggled to accept criticism, she has since embraced the importance of self-reflection. "I've made mistakes, but I'm learning to forgive myself for them," she shared. "It's a process, but I'm committed to becoming a better person." 2. Finding independence. Kathryn has made strides in building her identity outside of her relationships. From pursuing a career in fashion to exploring opportunities beyond Southern charm, she has focused on creating a life that's truly her own. "I've realized the importance of standing on my own 2 feet," she said. "I don't need to rely on anyone else to define my worth." 3. Embracing vulnerability. While being on reality TV comes with its challenges, Kathryn has also found empowerment in sharing her story. Her openness about her struggles, from postpartum depression to navigating sobriety, has resonated with fans. "If my story can help someone else feel less alone, then it's worth it," she said. Fan reactions, mixed opinions. Kathryn's reflections on her regrets have sparked mixed reactions from fans. Supporters. Many fans have praised Kathryn for her honesty and growth, applauding her willingness to own her mistakes and strive for improvement. "It takes courage to admit when you've been wrong. Kathryn's growth is inspiring," one fan commented on social media. "She's been through so much and she's still standing. That's resilience," another wrote. Critics. However, not everyone is convinced. Some fans feel Kathryn's regrets come too late, or that her apologies are performative. "She always plays the victim," one critic argued. "It's hard to take her seriously when she keeps making the same mistakes." "Kathryn's had plenty of chances to change. I'll believe it when I see consistent actions, not just words," another said. The legacy of Kathryn Dennis on Southern Charm. Kathryn's time on Southern Charm has been nothing short of transformative, not just for her but for the show itself. As one of its most compelling figures, she has been at the center of the drama, the growth and the controversies that have defined the series. While she may have regrets, Kathryn's willingness to reflect on her journey is a testament to her resilience. Whether loved or criticized, she remains a significant part of the show's legacy. As Kathryn continues to evolve, fans and critics alike will be watching closely. Will she fully embrace the lessons she's learned and carve out a brighter future? Only time will tell. For now, Kathryn Dennis stands as a reminder that reality TV stars are, above all, human, flawed, complex, and capable of growth. And in her own words, "It's never too late to become the person you want to be."